Good morning. Thank you so much for inviting us out today. My name is Lacey, and I am the Program Development Officer for our refugee program at Lutheran Family Services. And I brought with me today my friend Shafiq from Afghanistan, who's going to share with you a little bit about his story. But before we do that, I just wanted to give you a little bit of background about Lutheran Family Services. We've actually been around for 124 years, and we have 3 areas of service that we provide in the community. We have our Children's Services Department that offers adoption and foster care and early childhood prevention. We actually have one of the largest behavioral health systems in Nebraska as well. And then we have our Community Services Program that works to welcome our newest neighbors to Omaha and Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Refugees, immigrants, asylees, victims of international human trafficking. Like I said, our newest neighbors. One of those groups that we serve in our Community Services Program is a group of guys from Afghanistan who were interpreters for our U.S. military, sometimes for 10 years. And so they served next to our troops as their voice, going into combat and helping us in those conflicts. And as we're drawing out of those conflicts, their lives are really in danger by terrorists. And so they're allowed to come here and seeking safety with their wives and children. So today we have the pleasure of having Shafiq here with us, who was one of those interpreters serving next to our U.S. military for 8 years. So I'll just let him welcome Shafiq to the podium.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for giving me the chance to come here and speak to you. A few months ago, I was preparing a speech for my speech class, and they gave me the topic to prepare my speech about food waste. So as I was doing the research for that topic, I read that every year we Americans, we waste as much food as we can fill 18 football stadiums from it. And that reminded me of my childhood, when for days I would be crying for my mom to give me something to eat, but we didn't have anything. And it was the life of me and also thousands and millions of other kids around the world. And then on the other hand, from the day I was born, there was war in my country. We never had a day that there would be no killing, no shooting, and we would have a peaceful day. Until now, that's my dream, that when will that day come to my country and to the world, that we will have no fighting, no killing. When I was a kid, my uncle, he would take us out for a walk. One day when we went out, we went to a small playground. I was playing with my other friends and my cousins, and I left the playing area, came to my uncle, and then I heard that loud explosion. A missile hit that ground, and the little boy that I was playing with him, he was floating in blood, and he was dead there. And that's how thousands of kids, they lose their life every day in the world. And then after the 9/11, the US and the international forces came to Afghanistan, and we started going to school. In 2005, I came to the United States in a scholarship as an exchange student. I studied my last year of high school in Michigan. And as I went back to Afghanistan, I wanted to do something for my country, and I wanted to support the good cause of the US mission in Afghanistan. So I started working as an interpreter for the US military. And the interpretation for the US military is not like you will be sitting in an office just translating from one person to another person. You will be at the front line of the battlefield, and sometimes you would have a gun with yourself, sometimes you will not. And the Taliban and the other terrorist groups, their main target is to hunt down the interpreter first, because they think that the interpreter is the eyes and ears of the whole mission. Because if we kill him, then they will be lost and they cannot ask anybody, like, where are we right now? And that's how I lost many of my friends who worked as an interpreter. And even one of my friend who we worked at the same base, he was traveling with his kids and wife. His car was stopped by the Taliban, and he was beheaded in front of his family. And I started receiving phone calls and text messages and letters threatening me and my family because of working for the US government. And because of those threats, in 2010, I decided to go somewhere. And the US Department of State had a program for us. They call it the Special Immigration Visa. So I applied for this visa, and it took me almost 3.5 years till they issued my visa. Even though they had all the information about me, I have worked with them for 8 years. It still took them 3.5 years to issue my visa for my wife and my 3 kids. So imagine how long will it take for other refugees that are coming from around the world who the US government has no idea about them. It's not like they will put everybody in the plane and bring them to the United States. It's a long, long process. So in June 2014, I came to the United States. I was resettled by Lutheran Family Services in Omaha, Nebraska. They had an apartment furnished with everything for me. They welcomed me from the airport to the house, showed me around the house, and supported me for 3 months, applying for benefits, for Social Security card, enrolling my kids into school, and also helping me to find me a job. So I will be self-sufficient in the future. And I'm glad now that I'm here, because my kids will not see those images that I have seen when I was a kid. They will get quality education, and they love the school here. The first day when my son went to school, he only knew 2 words in English, hi and good. And now sometimes he criticizes on my English. He tells me, oh, that's not how you pronounce that word. So he went to school, and when he came back, he was telling me that, oh, the teacher didn't beat me today. And I said, oh, there is no beating here, because back home in Afghanistan, without a reason, the teacher will beat the kids. So I said, no, there is no beating, but you have to behave. And he's very good in school. My second son, he is going to kindergarten this year. After 5 months, I started volunteering with Lutheran Family Services through AmeriCorps. I did a term of 8 months, and then they offered me a job there as a caseworker to resettle refugees. And currently I work as an employment specialist with them. I help other refugees to find them jobs and to be self-sufficient. So I thank Lutheran Family Services, and also I thank United States and the people for giving me the opportunity to come here and live in a peaceful area. Thank you very much for today, for giving me the time.
Well, thank you so much. We're so grateful to you for helping us gather the household items that will go to help refugee families feel welcome in our country. So thank you for the time this morning, and we'll be here after service too. Thank you.